welcome to Today on the Green.
We're your hosts. I'm Bridget, and that's Evie.
So today is 10/10, and it's also Mental Health Day. So we all wish you well. Be positive.
Yeah. And it's also Tuesday, so you all know what that means. We did interviews,
on the field.
and we asked them, what's your biggest fear?
So let's see what they said.
So, what is your biggest fear?
If you got radiation poisoning, that would hurt a significant amount. That would be pretty scary, I have to think.
I totally agree.
I'm terrified of pool vacuum cleaners. I will not swim in a pool with one in there.
I understand.
My biggest fear is definitely losing in a school fight, like if I ever got in one, because then your reputation would be screwed for like the whole time you're at Bonita High School.
I would say my biggest fear is getting kidnapped because I don't want to leave my family.
That's so sweet.
Okay.
My biggest fear is burglars, like the ones with the ski mask and like try to rob you.
Being interviewed.
Okay, sorry.
Emos. Mom when she's mad at me.
I have a fear of heights.
Valid.
My biggest fear is heights.
Also, I'm not emo, I'm goth. There's a difference. You're getting me real riled up over here.
Okay. It's okay.
Anyways, what's your biggest fear, Evie?
I'd say my biggest fear is the ocean. It's dark, scary, only like barely known. Yeah. What about you?
Babies. They just laugh all the time and they act all innocent, but they're not innocent. They're really not innocent. They know more than they act like they know.
Okay.
And you know what? You're a person like anyone else.
Okay. We have Nora with more information about SATs.
Hi, I'm Nora. I'm your academics news coordinator. The SAT and ACT are often regarded as the most challenging tests high schoolers have to go through. Both exams were often requirements by universities, sometimes even the deciding factor of whether or not a student is accepted into the program. Nowadays, focus has shifted from the SAT and ACT exams back to a student's overall curriculum, including grades, activities, and so forth. But while some colleges and universities no longer require students to submit the SAT and ACT, others have not budged in their enrollment and application policies. Do you think the SAT and ACT are equitable ways to measure if a student gets admitted to university?
I would say no. I think students, it's been proven to have a little bit of advantage if they can get some help on the side. So, no.
I don't think it should be the only way. I think measuring on just one test is kind of not a good way to show how a kid can, what they know or they don't know. So I don't think it's personally a good way for them to check on that.
I think a more equitable way is to look at the student as a whole. I think students should be graded based on more than just a statistic on how they do on a test. I think it's based on their leadership, it's based on their activities they're involved in, it's based on their passions, in addition to all their academics. So SAT and ACT are probably not the most equitable ways. I think there's other ways that we can look at, and really that goes to looking at the student as a whole and what benefits they can bring to a college and university.
The SAT is still required among Ivy League universities, which received over 400,000 new applicants for the class of 2025 alone. On the other hand, around 1,835 colleges in the U.S., more than 80% of all universities, have made the test an optional admission requirement, with some colleges offering either an alternative test or not asking for the test at all as of 2023. The SAT was first created by Carl C. Birmingham, a president of the College Board, who introduced the test in 1926. Later on in 1959, the ACT, or the American College Testing, was formed and administered to students. The University of California began requiring the test as part of the admissions progress in 1960, and soon afterwards all colleges and universities began asking for the test. How old do you think the SAT is?
I don't know, maybe like 77 years old.
Older than me. Older than Icon.
The SAT and ACT exams are often a topic of controversy when discussing education, seeing as those who are able to afford tutoring for the exams often score better than students who cannot afford tutoring. It'll be interesting to see where these tests end up in the coming years, especially when I apply for college next year. Now back to Evie and Bridget in the studio.
Thanks, Nora.
And some more reports. We got Alyssa with more information about Drake's album that just got released on Friday.
Hey Bearcats, it's Alyssa, your pop culture correspondent. On Friday, Drake dropped his new album, For All the Dogs, which featured artists such as J. Cole, 21 Savage, and Bad Bunny. The album had a total of 23 songs. And back to the studio.
Thanks, Alyssa.
We also have band's fundraiser at the Bakery tonight.
Just mention to them that you're a Bonita student and it'll help out band's cause.
Of Tootin' Horns.
Yep. And that concludes today's episode of Today on the Green. Come back tomorrow to see what happens today on the Green tomorrow!